as we go over some of the hirings and firings and things like that. And of all teams, the Chicago Bears want to interview Mike McCarthy from the Dallas Cowboys. Are you serious?
Remember when he was beating us with the Green Bay Packers? He was killing us every time. And he knows a lot of offense, and we got that young quarterback, and, we need an offensive guy.
He's totally wrecked the Cowboys since he's been there, and it's like, you want him? Take him. Now.
Kurt thought of a great idea during the break. Maybe somebody on the Chicago Bears is friends with Mike McCarthy and is like, hey, man, if we say that we're interested in you, then Jerry's going to definitely sign you for an extension, which might happen.
Well, all right. So Mike Petraglia was on last hour, and he talked about Mike Tomlin being safe in Pittsburgh. He's so safe that some people have this is a theory that he could get traded to another franchise to coach because people value him. He's just not winning the big games with the Steelers. Steelers haven't won a playoff game in years, but he still gets them there. And it's just like, okay, how much longer is the Rooney family in Pittsburgh going to keep this guy? They're not going to get rid of Mike Tomlin because he doesn't lose there, but that doesn't necessarily mean he wins it. It's like Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's not the worst coach in Cowboys history. He just can't win. He can't win. So it's like you're going to send him to the Bears. First of all, now you got the Vikings are in the mix now. Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. Bears haven't been this bad and in this kind of shape, I don't know, in a long time in a lot of my adult life. But, man, I don't know who is going to help them get better than those three teams because those three teams are looking pretty good for years to come.
I got some bad news for you Packers fans. This was just reported. Breaking news, wide receiver Christian Watson, season-ending torn ACL.
Yes.
So he will obviously miss their playoff game here coming up.
Which makes it even more difficult now.
Yeah. For the Dallas Cowboys, if McCarthy does get fired or goes to the Bears, like, who are they? Have we explored who the next will be? Like, have we thought of any of these?
This is what I'm thinking with Mike Vrabel. All right, so you're talking about the Jets, you're talking about the Patriots. Neither one of those teams are built to win next year, next couple of years. Cowboys are built to win right now.
That's
and Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, some of these guys, you kind of need a running back right now, although Dowdle did a great job. The offensive and defensive lines could use some help. He's close to winning, and it's very tight in that division with the Eagles looking like they're kind of banged up this year, although Saquon Barkley is unbelievable, but the Giants are not good. Commanders are much better, and they're in the postseason. So to me, it's a question of which job would you rather have your Mike Vrabel? Cowboys, Jets, Patriots. I know you like the Patriots, which people say. I don't know that. I don't know how Mike Vrabel looks at Robert Kraft. If I'm looking at that situation from the outside and what you just did to Gerard Mayo, I don't want that job. I'm like, so the thing is, Jets keep hiring and firing their GMs and their head coaches. I think they've gone through 5 since I've been here in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, the one place like the Giants gig, you got longevity there, man. I mean, Jason Garrett stayed 3, 4, 5 years past his prime. Now you got Mike McCarthy is looking like he's going to outstay his welcome there. So I'd much rather take that Cowboys job. That's why I say let Mike McCarthy go to Chicago and interview. That could open the door for you saying, well, hey, we want to interview some people while you're interviewing.
The other guy they're interviewing in Chicago will be Ben Johnson. He's the offensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions. Again, this is a name that you're going to hear during this coaching search for everybody until he makes a decision or all these teams are finally out of the mix. Ben Johnson, McCarthy, Chicago, Caleb Williams, that all smells like offense.
What happened to Eric Bieniemy, by the way?
I was going to ask you that during the break.
He was a darling. Everybody, he should get a job.
I was going to ask you during the break.
I don't think he interviews very well.
Bieniemy. I don't know, man, but there's definitely the Saints out there that I think Eric Bieniemy would definitely fit. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars? What are they going to do now that they're moving on again? They're just like the Jets.
Offensive-minded dude. Some of these teams go too defense.
I think Ben Johnson is at the all right. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Right. Do you want to be defense culture? Vrabel, top of that list.
That's right.
Do you want to be offense innovative? Ben Johnson on the top of that list. And wherever you fall, you are in the pecking order of those two. I think those guys are going to get the first picks on the situations/teams they want. And if you're like the Dallas Cowboys or the Saints, where you are wishy-washy on what you're actually doing with your coaching staff right now, then you might be left without one of these two guys, and you're going to have to take the second choice for her. So Vrabel's interviewed for the Jets. He's been talked a lot about for the Patriots, and we're all thinking that, so might as well pencil him in there. Rex Ryan still wants the job for the Jets, and is basically politicking.
Yeah, there's no way. Do not do that. That'd be just insane. What I wanted to bring up was what you were talking about with the Patriots. So you really think Mayo might have been fired because he didn't lose that last game?
No, I don't think that was the biggest factor. I just feel like I do think that the Patriots would want them to lose. Like the Kraft, general manager, upper management, they didn't want to win that game yesterday.
Right.
Mayo, yeah, he doesn't need to be told. He knows what the situation was. And maybe they did say something to Milton after he threw that touchdown pass to cool his Jets and cut it out. But I think that they're looking at Vrabel, and they're thinking this is our chance to get Vrabel, and we can't dilly-dally around with Girardi.
Jacksonville job. They fired Doug Peterson. This guy's won a Super Bowl.
Not too long ago.
You keep the GM, Balky. You keep that dude.
Was he the guy that gave Trevor Lawrence the contract?
I don't know.
I think he was.
I don't know. I mean, Trevor, Prince Valium hasn't worked out yet.
Not yet. We'll see what happens.
So just to backtrack on quarterbacks and trying to develop them, that guy was a can't miss guy. This guy is going to be. It's not just about one guy. You need the whole team has to execute and perform. And you brought Doug Peterson in there with the same personnel, and they're still not executing. I don't know if I could blame Doug Peterson. Maybe it's the personnel, and who does that job? The GM. And that guy kept his job, and you fired Doug Peterson, who has already won a Super Bowl. I don't get it.
He's going to find a home. He might not be a head coach, but he might be an offensive coordinator somewhere. But yeah, again, this feels like the same show I did last year, the show before that, the show before that.
You've done this the last 10 years.
The Jets, the Jaguars, there's reasons the Browns are already drafting at the top of the spot. They always are, and it's not because of necessarily bad luck. It's not necessarily, the ball bounced one way or another. You got the same owners. You got the same decision makers. They're going to have the same results at the end of the day. I'm not surprised we're talking about the Jags and the Jets get new head coaches again.
No.
Not surprised.
Not at all. And not surprised the Bears are going to do a Bears thing and interview Mike McCarthy.
You want it. You want
that guy? Take that guy.
Take him off your Cowboys' hands.
Once again, for the people who weren't here early in the show, so the Jets have the 7th overall pick, and they fired their guy.
Yep.
Bears, 10th overall pick. Patriots, until they just won that game, they now have the 4th pick in the draft. They fired Gerard Mayo. Jaguars have the 5th pick in the upcoming draft, and the Saints have the 9th pick if they decide that they want to go in a different direction.
And we'll see. We'll see what the draft, even the big boards when they come out, where people are slotted in those picks. It's even a
and we still don't know if Antonio Pierce is safe out in Vegas.
So I got Vegas is in my kind of list, my question mark list, along with Dallas, along with the Colts, along with Arizona, along with Tennessee. And I know we're talking about some early tenured coaches, but Gerard Mayo just left, and he was somewhat of a favorite son for the New England Patriots, so it doesn't matter, a lot of the circumstance behind the scenes. The biggest thing, it's college football, it's NFL, it's high school football, wins and losses. And you're going to do what you're going to do, regardless of your friendships, to get those wins.
Who's happy today? Bill Belichick. He knows what he's going to get paid. He knows what he's going to do.
He's got a job.
He's got a job.
There you go.
He's got a job. So, and I'm wondering how many NFL guys that he can get some guaranteed money for to follow him. So that's another thing. Some guys might be off the market anyway. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and do sports menu and one more thing, and then it's Coach Mike Cavanaugh live from Bears Barbecue.